Picture this. Nigeria just got independence in 1960. People were celebrating, dancing in the streets, full of hope. Finally, a country of their own. 60 years later, the whole thing was already falling apart. Corruption everywhere, politicians stealing money in broad daylight, different ethnic groups fighting each other for power, and ordinary Nigerians just watching it all happen and feeling completely helpless. Then one morning in January 1966, people woke up and the government was just gone. Soldiers on the street, no announcement, no explanation, and days later, they found the body of Nigeria's own Prime Minister, abandoned on the side of a road outside Lagos. That is the story we are talking about today. The night that broke Nigeria's trust and set off a chain of events that would kill over 1 million people. Here's the first thing you need to understand. Nigeria was not one country in the way most people think of a country. It was basically 3 very different worlds stitched together by the British, who just drew lines on a map and left. By 1960, Nigeria had about 45 million people and over 250 ethnic groups, all trying to share one government. In the north, you had powerful Islamic rulers who had been ruling things their own way for centuries. In the west, you had educated Yoruba elites who were sharp, politically organized, and very ambitious. In the east, you had Igbo communities who had gone hard into education and businesses and were rising fast. Every group wanted to be in charge, and every group was terrified of the other groups being in charge. So instead of building a country together, the politicians spent most of their time protecting their own region and attacking everyone else. The cracks showed up fast. The 1963 census disputed. The North claimed 30 million people. The South said those numbers were fake and inflated to control federal seats. Nobody agreed. Nothing was resolved. The 1964 election, Southern parties boycotted it because they said it was rigged. International observers raised alarms. The government declared victory anyway, but by 1965, Western Nigeria was literally on fire. Let me tell you about what was happening in the Western region, because this is what pushed the military over the edge. The premier of the West, a man called Samuel Akintola, was accused of stealing the 1965 regional election. His opponent said he rigged the results, used government money to suppress rivals, and basically took the democratic process and threw it into the bin. People were furious. Gangs were on the streets. Houses were being burned. In some cases, people were being doused in petrol and set on fire. It got so bad, they gave it a name, Operation Wetie. Over 150 people were killed in political violence in the West alone. And the federal government in Lagos, they did almost nothing. Now, imagine you are a young military officer watching all this. You swore an oath to protect Nigeria, but the people running Nigeria are robbing it, rigging elections, and letting citizens kill each other in the streets. That is exactly what Major Chukwuma Kaduna Nzeogwu was thinking. Nzeogwu was Igbo by background but grew up in the north. He was trained at Sandhurst, one of the most prestigious military academies in the world. Smart, disciplined, and completely fed up with what Nigeria had become. And by late 1965, he and a small group of fellow officers had made a decision. They were going to take the country by force. There were 5 of them at the center of it. Nzeogwu in Kaduna, Emmanuel Ifajuna in Lagos, Adewale Ademoyega in the west. And note this, he was Yoruba, not Igbo. Timothy Onwatuegwu in Enugu, Humphrey Chukwuka in Abeokuta. The plan was simple on paper. Hit all the major cities at the same time. Capture or neutralize the top political and military leaders. Control the radio stations and communication. Then announce a new government before anyone could fight back. They gave themselves one night to change Nigeria forever. Midnight, January 15th, 1966. It begins. In Kaduna, Nzeogwu moves fast. By morning, Ahmadu Bello, the most powerful politician in northern Nigeria, the Sardauna of Sokoto, is dead, shot in his own compound. In Lagos, Prime Minister Abubakar Tafawa Balewa is taken from his home in the middle of the night. Finance Minister Festus Ebo, famous for his extravagant lifestyle while Nigerians suffered, is also grabbed. In Ibadan, soldiers go after Premier Samuel Akintola. He actually grabs a gun and fires back. He is still killed. In just a few hours, the entire leadership of Nigeria's First Republic is gone. But here is where the plan starts breaking down. In Lagos, things don't go as smoothly. Key communications aren't secured, and one man they were supposed to neutralize escapes. Major General Johnson Aguiyi-Ironsi, the head of the Nigerian army. Ironsi rallies loyal troops, he negotiates with the coup plotters, and within 24 hours, he had assumed power as supreme commander. The coup plotters got the chaos they planned. They did not get the Nigeria they wanted. 9 days later, the bodies of Balewa and Ebo are found on a quiet road outside Lagos. No one officially says who gave the order to kill them. Now, here's where things get really complicated. As people started piecing together who was killed and who wasn't, a narrative spread like wildfire, especially in the north. Look at the victims: Ahmadu Bello, a Northerner; Tafawa Balewa, a Northerner; Akintola, a Yoruba man, and most of the officers who planned it, Igbo. People started calling it the Igbo coup, a plot by the Igbo to eliminate northern and western leaders and take over the country. But the facts don't fully support that story. Ademoyega, one of the main planners, was Yoruba. The coup didn't put an Igbo politician in power, and the man who actually ended up in charge, Ironsi, got there by stopping the coup, not by organizing it. But when people are scared and angry, facts don't always win. By mid-1966, anti-Igbo violence had erupted across northern Nigeria. Historians estimate between 8,000 and 30,000 Igbo people were killed in a matter of months. Over 1 million fled back to the eastern region. In July 1966, just 6 months after January 15th, northern officers launched their own counter-coup. Ironsi was killed. A new military leader, Yakubu Gowon, took over. The army itself was now split by ethnicity, and in 1967, the eastern region declared itself an independent country, Biafra. Nigeria went to war with itself. That war lasted 30 months and killed between 1 and 3 million people, most of them civilians who starved to death during a blockade. Here is the thing that stays with me about all of this. The coup lasted one night, but Nigeria spent the next 33 years under military rule because of what it started. The country didn't get a stable return to democracy until 1999, and today, with over 220 million people, Nigeria still carries the weight of the distrust that was born in January 1966. The officers who planned that coup genuinely believed they were saving Nigeria. Maybe some of them were right about the problems, but they were wrong about the solution. Because once you destroy the system, even a broken one, what fills the gap is almost always worse. And the question Nigeria has been asking itself ever since is one that still doesn't have a clean answer. Was January 15th, 1966 a rescue or the beginning of a real collapse? Maybe it was both.